Boom! Hello and welcome to the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast Season 5. Never forget that to the best of us, protection's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. Enjoy. I've done a number of these, but I usually will talk in principle. On this one, I'm going to dig in a little bit to some tactics that we use. I'm going to dig into things that I'm seeing in the EP game, some pitfalls that I'm seeing guys fall into in this game. That's really what this is about. I wanted to get a little bit more tactical with this. And then obviously I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to join me and my network and the folks that I work with, many of which are on this call, which that's an absolute honor. Good to see you, Alan, Horace, Michael up here, Thomas, what's up, Sean? We got the Marks from New York, the mayors in New York. We got Francisco, one of my right hands out here in California. Yeah, man, Jabari, Doug, I recognize so many of you guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Everyone's still pouring into the classroom. I'm just hitting the submit all button. Okay, awesome, man. Sweet. So, in fact, I'm gonna let this video run a little bit. It's about it's a longer video, so everyone can get in here
now,
while this is going.
Because of you and the conversations that we have, outside of this and all the, criticism and everything, so I just want to make you proud, sir.
I looked, October 28th is when I paid for it. And I probably started the class the 30th. And I think I finished around right before Thanksgiving. So November 21st, 23rd, when I finished the class. I set up and ready to go. And one of the guys said, hey, how long have you been doing this for? And I was like, I got my certification 2 months ago, bro. And he's like, where did you go? What school? And I was like, Byron, Rodgers, executive protection training day, bro. And he's like, you learned all this? He's like, is it hands-on and, all this kind of stuff? And I said, Byron's hands-on. And he, I talked to him on the phone. I talked about Instagram. We have Zoom calls and stuff like that. But really, it's just the way that he goes about explaining it. And all the information, isn't just one big fat, mind dump in a one-day classroom. You have access to it anytime you need it, So I told him, I was in my hotel room last night. He probably got here watching, watching the modules and going over my notes and everything, man. And that's how I got ready.
If you're a good cop, you can make the transition, because a good cop knows it's community first and you're serving people. If you have that mindset, you'll win and to stand. But I'd say the benefit of the program for me, I was fortunate, man. He said, put 3 A's, I put 3 A's. He said, get a red pen, I got a red pen. And the door opened up, started learning details, went on tour. And I was with guys that had 15, 20 years in the game. Yeah. And they were looking at me like I had 15, 20 years in the game. Because I had somebody over my shoulder, and I tell people this, and she's dying. I literally verbatim memorized his script for the FBO. And that's what I did at my first FBO. And I walked in I knew what I was doing, and everyone was like, oh, hey, I did. Well, literally what he said verbatim. And it was. I'm telling you, it's good. It's just follow the steps, man. He says it. You can do what I do, you have what I have.
In this program, do you have a job? And I really feel like going back 5 months, if I was to apply for the same position, between my application and my ability to speak confidently about my position and the things that I can do, I don't think I would have it.
It's all possible. And I must say, guys, so everybody here, we have already invested a lot of money, as you should do. But I did 2 details. I already got a lot of that money back. So even if you don't have work, just keep believing in it, do it, and you will make the money back and invest in yourself.
I tell all the people I know that I recommend the training to that you're the Michael Jordan of EP. And you're doing a great job too with the business aspect of it too.
Everything's going well. Staying busy as usual. Tired today. Was a long day.
This is one of my favorite moments in college, right? So we go from, we're fighting our way into the industry to there's always this moment man, I'm tired,
The main thing for me was you got to stay calm go with everything you're taught, because they teach you everything. I mean, the way that it's taught is just unbelievable. Just be calm, go through it, do everything that you're taught the way they taught you, and you should be happy with the outcome.
You know, my favorite story, my first time on an FBL, I just parroted what you said. I was like, well, it's my first time. I'm smart. I'll figure it out. I know the lingos. I know what to say. Literally said what you said and it went off without a hitch. And it's like what I do now moving forward. It's simple. A lot of good information. If you put the work in, I mean, it's not a magic pill. You got to put the work. But if you put the work, you do what most people really don't want to do. You tell people, this is how you do it. There's no secrets. And if you bake the cake the way you say bake the cake, you'll have the results. And I joke, but I literally did everything, whatever you said, you know, even with my law enforcement background, just what you said to do, the LinkedIn, everything, social media, which it's a necessary evil, did it all. And by the grace of God, like literally 0 to 1,000. Yep. And my second tour, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and the artists are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The best part of all this is how accessible this man makes himself. That to me, you can't put a price on it, man.
A majority of the jobs I'm getting now are from word of mouth, from other agents bringing it up to their CEO saying, hey man, I like the way this guy is. He's a humble dude, you know. He's definitely hungry for, you know, better jobs. I can definitely speak that Byron is huge on giving you good tips. He definitely blasted me a little bit about my LinkedIn, my resume, and I appreciated it. It's constructive, and if he's telling you something, it's not out of hatred or just being hateful. It's constructive. I appreciate that. You're going to go for it. Absolutely.
Finished up the training day modules this week, and I'm going to go back through everything again, I think, before I take the test. I have to say that probably the social dynamics and the advanced modules were probably my favorite, although they're all awesome. You know, the social dynamics, definitely life skills. I mean, not only for this occupation, but really for any. You know, I use a lot of those things in my current profession and look forward to that stuff spilling over into the EP realm. The advanced stuff was very interesting, and I've even done a couple of like mock advances at some local venues around here just for the practice.
Last we spoke, I think I was driving in the car doing another detail, and now I got a new detail. Byron, it's so crazy to just say this. I mean, I had to turn down work for the first time.
How long did it take? Like, how long since you were like, all right, I think I'm going to do this?
I did the class in October with you. I mean, it took like a few months. It just took a few months. I remember the first call. I think we talked about it. We're like, you know, I don't even know if EP is for me. I don't even know if I can even do this because I'm a new dad. I got to be home, take care of the baby. I literally, like you and Rick said, I found a detail with really solid guys with a detail that's lasted a very long time. I got integrated on the team, and it's just fantastic. You know, you guys talking about the amount of finances you could make. Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It's not to boast, but it's to just be a testimony of just putting in the work and networking and all that stuff and doing what you say. Thank God I am now in 6 figures, and I have a schedule where I can be home with my family for like 4 days. I can't even ask for anything better.
Means the world, man.
An 8-day detail and worked 114 hours. With rolling. Me and Mo was on the team. It was great to work with my son.
That's gotta be beautiful.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Client fell in love with us, and they want us to come work for them again in Florida and Tennessee. They emailed us today and say they're going to be checking out, getting us credentials for Florida, and they want to see us again. And we told them about you, Brian. We say we was trained and we're mentored by Bravo Research Group, Byron Rodgers, and they love it. And we told them all about the training day program, hard skills, immersion course,
I was working side by side with the head of security for these families, and he goes, "I'm gonna look at it." I'm like, "You won't be making a mistake. Send your guys."
These guys are
Hey, how you doing? My name's Elizabeth Elodie. I'm trying to get into the EP
work
right now.
like they really just got thrown in with this family, and coming to San Diego for 8 days was their first movement, first time ever, like with both clients.
Right.
And so they were constantly picking me and my dad and everybody else's brains about, you know, how do motorcades work? How do we move this? How do we do an advance? What's an advance? You know, like all these things. And he's like, "Hey man, like, you know, like you guys have a good deal here where this client likes you guys and is willing, you know, like one of them said, like anything that like you guys need, like I'll pay for it, like whatever you guys want to do." And you know, like then I said, "Hey dude, like Byron has an amazing pipeline." I said, "You look at his videos, take that over to a client, and like you guys could be completely squared away and have somebody in your corner like Byron to help you guys now like navigate running your own detail." Because me and my dad don't have that experience, but Byron does, and he can help you further because you guys got thrown literally into the fire.
Guys, Byron does. He gives you what you give, see what he sees, and people will gravitate to you once you're approachable, professional, polite, and apply all the skills. You're going to come to you.
First and foremost, man, I want to say thank you for everything you've done lately. We just got an opportunity with Vigilant and Josh, who contacted us like maybe an hour ago for a workplace violence. It's going to be paying like $60 an hour. And I'm just going to say that's like literally the most money I've ever made. I've been doing this for 6 months, going through training courses. Brother, thank you tremendously. You've changed my life.
And I tell you a little thing that happened, because after I went through the protective symposium, I went back to the company I was working for, you know, gave him a copy of my credentials to him and what, you know, what we did there. Next thing I know, I got a call from the CEO of the company, and I became a subscriber.
Boom, just like that.
Just like that. Hey, the Byron Rodgers thing's getting out there. People recognize, you know, so it's definitely a good thing, man. It's definitely a good thing. Can't thank you enough, man, putting this program together and helping so many. You know, it's great, man.
Everything you speak is golden. So whatever you tell me to do, I'm doing it. No question that. So bought the tickets, went, got hooked up at the party that you had after. I met a bunch of great people. I met Justin there. That's how I got hooked up with the UFC gigs. So all great work. And you know, I'm just getting in. Realistically, my first gig was I had one thing with you in December, and then everything picked up in January. So I'm only really like 2 months in, and work is pretty steady. I'm not even like hitting up the other 3 companies that I'm signed up with right now. Literally no complaints. And to add on to what Mark was saying, where you know, people are gonna hunt you down and say, you know what, you're my guy here. The reason for that, unfortunately, in this industry, I've learned very quickly, there's no standard. And so you have people all over the place. You have people with lack of training, wrong training, bad attitudes. And so being part of the league, that's where we're building these standards in the industry. And so everybody who has the league behind them branded, you're going to learn how to set the standard. And people are going to see you right away, and that's going to stand out to them, and they're going to want you on their details. And so being part of this community is huge for everybody here.
The company that I work with in driving, I sent in my certification that I got taking the course. And so another gentleman that he had that was supposed to do the detail with the US Congressman got stuck in bad weather. What had happened, he saw that I was certified, and he said, listen, he goes, you know, detail. And I said, absolutely. I meet the Congressman's driver. He gives me the itinerary of the day. And you know what? I was on point with everything, the tours, holding various items for him, and worked out extremely smoothly. At the end of the night, or just about before the night ends, he goes, listen, we have to go to Gracie Mansion and see the mayor of New York City. It was like, listen, just from a certification that I got, you know, people are recognizing this. And then they're calling me saying, hey, listen, you want to do this detail with a congressman, and I'm going to the mayor's office, hanging out at the mayor's office. The training day was a phenomenal package. I would recommend that to anyone that is interested in EP work. Obviously, at some point, I will make it out to do the hard skills, but time and time again, soft skills, guys, that's where it's at. I mean, as Byron says, soft skills get you paid and paid and paid. In the hard skills, if you have to use them, we'll save someone's life.
Oh man.
Guys, hey Franco. Hey Byron.
What's that?
Just got my first detail 2 weeks ago.
Outstanding, man. What an honor.
I watched Franco out with his 2-foot scheme. I tried it. It works well, man. Franco, thanks for the little bit of a teaching skills. I watched you and it works well. I'm doing a driving detail. So thanks, Franco. Byron, the prayers help, man.
Good.
Doing some detail work up in Canada. Appreciate it, brother.
Okay. Heck yeah, man. Well, hopefully we can link up on that other thing too. Now that
100%, brother. The dough's coming. Those coming in and bacon side, man.
Outstanding.
So we'll chat later, bro.
All right, good to go. Appreciate it. All right, gents. It's such an honor, man. And if you guys wouldn't mind muting this thing to the end and we can open it up a little bit and we can do some round table and stuff like that. I'm going to jump right into this presentation, but I just wanted to share those videos with you guys and those testimonials with you guys, because you hear me talk about it all the time. Like if you're here, maybe you follow me, maybe whatever. And I could sit here and I could tell you about what we've done till I'm blue in the face. But I find that the difference in the dudes that make it and the dudes that achieve success are the dudes that literally just implement the plan. Execution is the key. And what I've seen happen a lot since I've been trying to help people with their success in this industry is I will literally I'll give them the keys. I'll be like, this is it. And then they'll judge it however they want to judge it, right? So they'll be like, yo, it's not sexy enough or clever enough or whatever enough. And then they won't implement. And then they just stay there. And then I check back with them, they get on the next call or whatever it is, and they're just stuck in the same place, getting ready to procrastinate. And so I wanted you guys to hear it from other professionals in the field, that we have something here at the league, and that I've been able, by the grace of God, to help people, everyday people, man. Ain't a single dude that, that I'm better than that is doing that. You know what I'm saying? Every one of those people were people just like me and you that are on that call, And the funny thing is, I'm a little older. I started EP when I was 21, but I'm maybe a little bit farther than some of you guys in this game, and I'm here to give you the cheat codes. That's what I do, because when I started, nobody gave me, I had some mentors that made sure I didn't get fired, but I was looking around yo, what am I supposed to do? How do I do this? And fortunately, my Heavenly Father, guided me through it. And I was able to build my career on both coasts, on the East Coast and on the West Coast, multiple times. And that really, really made all the difference. So let me get this little presentation set up here. Boom. Gotta make sure I still got people coming in on this call. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of both, but I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna take my time with this. We'll go through this. So boom. And then where's my other little thing to make sure I'm letting everybody in the waiting room? We have 100 people on this call, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, boom. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this live stream of how to achieve success in the executive protection industry. I'm going to dig right into this. We're going to move fast. We got more videos to watch as we get down range, but I'm going to give you guys some tactics that have been working for lots of professionals in this game, and things that really make the difference from the jump to get your foot in the door. This information is for two different types of people. Those who are already in the industry and want to advance their skills and earn higher incomes as executive protection agents. So if you're already in the game, these skills will still be relevant and applicable. Boom, boom. Okay. those wanting to break into the industry and fast track their learning by linking arms with successful professionals, right? So success leaves clues unless you're clueless. You know, my man said, hitch your wagon to a star. I don't know if I'm that star, but I know this, and I can say it with absolute confidence at this point in time. We have the skills and tactics to help you achieve your executive protection career goals, if that, in fact, is what you want. The reality of this game is a lot of people try to go at it solo. A lone wolf is a dead wolf. That's the reality of the game, man. That's why animals are afraid to get separated from their packs, right? You hear a lot about this principle of survival of the fittest. Yeah, it's cool. It does play a role. Darwin talks about it, but the other principle he talks about, and the one that you will see if you turn on the Discovery Channel tonight, test me in this, is you're going to see survival of the pack, elimination of the weakest. That's what you're really going to see. So if you really want to learn how to acquire power and influence and options, it really comes down to your ability to be part of a pack. That comes down to survivability on a detail, right? The way your team moves. Is it an environment of cooperation over competition or competition over cooperation? These are the things that make the difference in winning teams. And these are the things that make the difference in your ability to achieve success in this game. If you're just a dude, who's going to win the interview? If me and you go in there and you're just another name in the resume stack, or is the guy that knows somebody who's on the detail that got referred going to be the guy that wins the day on the resume stack? You know what I'm saying? So you can do a lot of things to get yourself visibility, but ultimately business is the commerce of relationships, right? And a lot of people are trying to get into this industry right now. So the competition is much, much higher. I'm going to talk to you about multiple ways to stack your resume so your resume stands out, and also how to leverage the power of relationships in order to get you into this game so you don't have to go at your career alone. We do our careers together. I'm getting too excited. I'm letting you know some of the tips, but become part of the underground. Okay, so today's topics, right? Boom. What gets you hired, right? So when a guy like me looks at your resume, what is he looking for? What's he thinking? What gives him the confidence to be able to put like millions of dollars on the line behind your integrity, your professionalism, and who you say you are, right? Like, what gets you hired, okay? How to tap into unlimited work. If you've been in this game, you already know it's feast or famine. Like, I can get you into EP. I can get you, if you're a decent dude, if you look decent and you have decent things that I can work with, I can sell security with you. There's no question about that. But the real difficulty in this game, and a lot of my members of the league will tell you, it's finding a good home. So finding a good home with good compensation that has a culture you want to be a part of, that you believe in, with teammates that you like and want to be around, right? Finding a good home. And there's a different type of home for everyone, depending on so many different factors based on your values, what's important to you, environments you like to be in, where you're at in your life cycle. Like my first couple details where we were literally traveling every week. I saw 60 countries. I saw 40 to like upwards of 60 countries every year for 7 years. And then my life started to change and I wanted something else, right? That was perfect for right when you get out of the Marine Corps. Finding a good home. There's a key to doing that. And I've been able to do it on both coasts, right? So when I was in Cali, I was able to find what I wanted, move around in what I wanted. When I moved down to Florida, same thing. I was able to do all these things by the grace of God. I'm not saying this to boast to you about how amazing I am. I'm literally trying to build your faith. This whole entire first part of this thing is demonstration of value, showing you fruit of what it is I'm talking about. So, I'm not just some cool guy on social media just talking to you. I'm talking about how to literally put cash in people's pockets and help them create the life that they want. This is real. And it's simple. It's so much more simple than people think. Wisdom is simple, but it is not easy. And that's what weeds out the girls from the boys. So how to upgrade your resume. We're going to talk a little bit about a tactic that we use at the league to upgrade your resume. And I'm going to open it up at the end for some questions, and we're going to see how crazy that gets, and we're going to fastball it. But how to upgrade your resume. This is going to be, and what is your resume? Is it the piece of paper that you hand to your employer, right? How does your employer really look at your resume and all the different components to that? Why now is the best time to be in the private security industry? Personally, I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's amazing. I'm on the inside. millions of reasons why. But if you've ever been like thinking about it, if you're in a job that you're like, man, I don't know if I can dig this, or you're at another place in the private security industry and you want to get into the executive protection industry, I'm here to tell you, and I'll explain why now is literally the best time that's ever existed that I know of, at least since I began to get into the executive protection industry. So quick introduction. Who am I? Why should you listen to me? I've been really blessed, right? So I've been able to build one of, if not the biggest brand in the executive protection industry, right? I've got 2 podcasts in the space. We do live events in the space. Some of the podcast episodes that we've done are people get collegiate college credits for because there's a lot of value there, right? So social proof, right? So this is kind of who I am, some of the stuff that I've done. Former Marine Corps infantry, multiple combat tours, master's degree in psychology, published author, industry recognized subject matter expert, founder and CEO of Bravo Research Group, my private security company, Protector Nation, my tactical training company for everyone. You hear the Protector Symposiums, etc. Executive Protection Lifestyle, that's the Executive Protection brand, podcast, all that stuff. Insider trading, we're about to drop a social media platform for all you guys. That's coming. And it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. We're like weeks away. The League of Executive Protection Specialists. That's my school. This is where we have the brotherhood of individuals who train together, and then we do our careers together. Huge difference there. A lot of times you'll train, you never hear from your school again. There's no one to help you through your career. But my story is simple. Got out of the Marine Corps infantry, 2 deployments to Iraq, 1 combat deployment, 1 float. I was 0351 anti-tank assaultman with Lima Company Weapons Platoon in 3-1, just for you guys who like to look up everyone's lineage and think everyone's lying, right? I got out at age 21. Before I got out, I got recruited on one of the biggest and most highly traveled details in Southern California from the bar. By the grace of God, I was a bouncer. Literally crazy story. It's on podcast. You can look it up later. I basically got recruited from flag football straight up to the NFL at age 21. Our first year in this game, we hit around 60 different countries, 60 plus countries. It was ridiculous. I was blinding. But that's how I grew up in this game. I ran at that pace with that client for 7 years. And then I wanted to live a normal life. I went down to Florida. Closer to my father. I'm from the Bahamas. I grew up in Washington State, though, a little bit of both. I can swim. I know for some black guys, that's a superpower. I can say that. Anyways, I love you. So I went down to Florida, started working private security down there, started bouncing again, worked my way up again into executive protection there. And then some other amazing opportunities brought me back to Southern California. During that time, I started chasing the pager, working for multiple companies, like 7 different EP companies, and just taking different jobs. This gave me experience with every different client demographic we serve in the private security industry and in executive protection. So that's when I got to work everybody, right? And then eventually that crescendoed up into one of my clients saying, hey, we separated with our guy, a year ago, and we want to bring you back to become one of our main guys. And then boom, Bravo Research Group started up. And that was 2017. And I've been doing private security ever since. Literally the only thing I've done in my life is the Marine Corps and executive protection. Some say the game ain't choose them. They didn't choose the game chose them. That's actually the case with me. And the only thing I've done is executive protection after coming back from war in Iraq. I have a master's degree, like you saw, published author, different things like that. Facing my dragons, right? So let's get into it. I look at time as God's currency. So we're going to be dying together on this call. You can't get this time back. You can't get any of this back. So my goal is, before my Heavenly Father and you, is to serve you with the best quality information I can give you, and understand that information doesn't just come from one man. The advantage I have, and the reason I told you about the things that I've done, is that I have the advantage of getting information from everyone who's gone through my school. They come back to me, like you guys see. That video could have been 4 times as long, right? They come back to me and they tell me what helped them. Not just that they've been helped. We have whole conversations about it because I meet with them twice a month on Zoom, right? So I know exactly what is working in the field right now, not just for me and my company, but for what's actually helping these guys achieve success. So let's dig into it, y'all. What gets people hired in the executive protection game? It's not all about your hard skills necessarily, right? So your cool background, I'm just going to just crush that myth right now. Your cool background might get you looked at, and honestly, your cool background might get you hired, but what's going to help you stay in that spot is going to be your soft skills and your social dynamics, right? Access is one of the main things that I want to talk about here, right? Do you know when opportunities are floating around? I've created a few different things that can help you guys out. Where's my little chat thing? Okay, sweet. I'm gonna be sending you guys links, so make sure you keep your eyes on the chat area, right? So I've created a few little links for you guys, WhatsApp communities. And if you guys haven't noticed, right, what does every great warrior do since the beginning of time? He unites the tribes, right? So I create little ecosystems for you guys to be able to take advantage of opportunities, right? So do you know when opportunities are going on in your area? That's the first question. The links I just put in the chat group to everyone are my WhatsApp groups, and these will tell you when and where jobs are going on anywhere my company is. The executive protection, the EPL job WhatsApp link, what that's going to do is I'm going to continue building this link. People are going to continue getting on this link. And then I'm going to start getting in touch with companies that want to market to this link. And they're going to be able to post their jobs there. Access is the first thing. I have my Texas link. We're expanding to Texas. Soon we're expanding to Arizona. And then I have California. So for California call outs for BRG. You guys that are on that link, you guys know there's a lot of action that goes on in there. Almost on a weekly basis, there's details being staffed through these links. So access is the first thing. You've got to look at your environment. And you've got to figure out where the EP epicenters are in your environment. Is it a training circuit? One of the things that I do is I do a lot of competitive shooting. There's a lot of EP heads that move around my competitive shooting environment. Habits that help you be around people who are in your industry. Is it jujitsu? Is it your gym? Where are the guys that do EP hanging out in your environment? And the thing is, if you meet a guy training, he's part of the 1%. I had a shoot last few weeks ago, shooting competition I went to a few weeks ago. I sent the invite out to 300 agents. 5 or 6 of them showed up. So if you meet a guy who's out training, he's probably one of the as Pericletus said, out of every 100 men, 80 of them are just targets. 10 of them, 90 of them are just targets. 10 of them actually bring the fight. We're lucky to have him, but there's the one, and he's going to bring a lot of them home. And I'm trying to be that one always. And you should be trying to be that one too, every single time, right? So I created those links for you guys to take a look at. So join those links, join those communities so you can know what's going on. That EPL link is going to be an international link as I continue to build it. Right place, right time, right relationships. Right place, right time, right relationships. It sounds like voodoo. How do you get in the right time, right place, and have the right relationships, right? This is really a magical art form. I have created an environment and a network to get you in the right time, right place, right relationships. We share opportunities with each other. Okay. So when it comes to getting you hired, you want to be the guy that knows someone in the company. You want to be the guy that can get vouched for by someone else who has authority. These are the actual fast tracks, right? So if you go to our EP immersion course and you apply for a job, you can put me down as a reference and I can say, hey, I've trained with this guy. We did a whole battery of 4 to 5 EP operations in LA, training together. I've seen him move. I've trained him personally, and I can vouch for this guy, right? So now you're not just another resume, right? Right place, right time, right relationships. You've got to get out there. We're going to get into, okay, perfect. The other thing that I see holding guys back is your guard card, exposed weapons permit, your CCW for where you're at. It breaks my heart, man. When I get a guy who comes out for a call out, he's got all the stuff. He's got the look, he's got the feel, he's got the social dynamics. He's got all those things that can get him hired that I know he would be an asset for my team, but he just hasn't done the work to make sure he has the right certifications. Before you do anything, get your certifications and make sure you're current. No matter what state you're in, it's probably a guard card, some kind of guard card, some kind of exposed weapons permit, and a CCW. Some require like a PI license so you can carry concealed. Some of them get a little weird like that. But do your research and find out what your state needs for you to work executive protection, concealed carry. Do that step first. The other biggest mistake people make is they don't get out there and start trying to get work. They talk about how they need to get another course under their belt. They talk about how they need to get ready to feel like they're ready. When you come through our course, I'm gonna be like, go, bro, get your certifications and get out there and start learning, get on the path. And then when you do that other course and you invest in yourself, come back to all those employers and start and tell them, hey, I just went through the hard skills intensive. I just went through the immersion course. I've been investing in myself. There's nothing sexier to an employer than to see a guy who's proactively investing in himself to get better. That's a guy I'm willing to invest in because he's trying to get better, right? A guy that comes to you with the stuff he needs, guard card, explosive weapons permit, CCW. And then he comes back and he's like, hey, sir, I've been investing in myself. Not just, oh, why am I not getting picked for all these jobs? Or why am I not getting this? You know, it's like, hey, man, like, I don't owe you anything, but you know, if it hasn't worked out yet, and sometimes it doesn't work out, you guys got to understand. I have had clients come up to me and ask me for every type of agent you can imagine. I'm talking about, I've had clients be like, yo, I want Viking dudes. I've had clients say they want ninja dudes. I've had clients say they want rapper dudes or gangstery dudes, white dudes, black dudes, purple dudes. This is just all special forces dudes. This is just the game, bro. This is just, you got to understand that clients want someone who represents their brand. So if you don't get called in on a call out, and you don't get called in, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because you suck. Like, it really doesn't. It either means maybe there's more competition or the client just wasn't looking for you. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever take it personal. Always continue putting it out. When you're trying to get in this game, you need to be relentless. It's not actually that difficult, but you need to continue just shooting arrows. You need to get in there, walk through all the doors. You guys that have been in my course, you guys know this is what I tell you guys. Walk through all the doors. Oh, you got a gig protecting the chick handing out free cigarettes at the bar? Take the gig. You got a gig doing you know, whatever security for this, that, the next thing. Take it, walk through all the doors, because what ends up happening is you prove to your employer and you prove to everyone you work with that you're dependable and you're the guy. When you're the yes guy, yeah, I got one of my guys on here. When you're the guy that handles everything, your employer will want to bless you because you're handling stuff for him. He's going to want to elevate you. He's going to fight harder to create opportunities. He's going to go fight the guys up above to create opportunities because he's like, I gotta bless this guy, man. He's my guy. He's been dependable. He's been holding me down. I need to take care of this guy. Honor the people in charge of you. Honor gives you access and helps you elevate. Now I'm getting distracted. I wasn't even gonna give you guys all this. And it sounds like pie in the sky, but like, let's talk about it. Like, honor is one of those things that is rare these days. It's one of those things you don't ever see anyone honor anybody anymore. You know, but if you can start, and I'm gonna get a little bit into my social dynamics of executive protection, but if you can start being the guy that honors your team, serves your team, honors your employers, serves your employers, they're going to want you around and they're going to want to give you opportunities. That one's free. But anyways, so make sure you have your stuff, guard card, guard card, explosive weapons permit, CCW. That's the first thing. Get around the industry. Start doing some hobbies that get you around EP agents, right? And then go online, find every EP company in your area and start putting your stuff out. Don't wait until you're perfect. You're never going to be perfect. Don't wait until you have all the certifications. You're never going to have them. They need to know who you are now, and they might need a guy, and that's when you get your shot. And then you change one thing about your resume. You come back and you say, hey, I went and I got EMT certified. Just wanted to let you guys know if you need anything on executive protection, I've got you. That's how you climb, and you stay in their face. And that day's gonna come when they're like, dude, I need a guy. Oh, what about that one guy? Or that'll be right when you drop your stuff. Let's talk a little bit about resumes, pro photo, LinkedIn, right? So these are some of the things that get you hired. Resumes, pro photo, LinkedIn. When a company or an employer wants to look at you and they ask you for your resume and they ask you for your stuff, you need to make sure this stuff pops. You need your resume to look professionally done. It needs to look better than what is reasonable, right? You need your LinkedIn to look professionally done. Don't be one of those guys where I go to your LinkedIn and there's like nothing there, right? This is attention to detail. The way you do some things is the way you do all things. Do a lot of things at least, right? So when I look at your resume, it's got to be dialed in. It's got to be done well. When I look at your LinkedIn, it's got to be dialed in. It's got to be done well. Without them asking, have a professional photo. Not just a photo with you up against a wall, not just a photo of you at prom where you cut your girlfriend out, not just a photo of you, being anything other than a consummate professional. And it wouldn't help to be perfectly groomed and to look like the type of person that could represent their company. When an employer looks at your photo, all he's thinking is, can this guy represent my company with authority, with the level of excellence that I want my clients to experience? This man is going to be my company to my employer. So that photo, and your resume might say, not that much, that photo needs to be the sexiest, most amazing photo you ever took in your life. So spend some money, go get one of these people off the internet, go to Nordstrom's where they do headshots up on the second floor in the back of the men's department, and get yourself a styled in pro photo. And in fact, if you want to be perfect, right? You want to be really good, get yourself 2 pro photos, one suit, tie, and one in a business casual. Torso up. You want them to see your level of fitness. You want them to see that you aren't a slob, right? Torso up, and you have one that's totally like suit and tie, and one that is just a business casual photo. And you put both of those in your resume somewhere. There's a billion different apps. You can make a side by side, and you just put those on the last page so they can see what you look like. And in your photo, don't look so mean, bro. Like, you guys understand. I get photos from people, man. I get photos of dudes in locker rooms flexing with their phone in the mirror. I get photos of stuff, you guys, like, and I'm just like, man, you know what? And me being me, I'll still talk to this dude. I'll still hit him up and be like, yo, bro, so let's talk, man. Like, you look like a good, you're probably a good dude. You just, maybe, thought that that's what we were looking for. This ain't Chippendales, you know what I'm saying? So make sure your photo is dialed in and professional, right? That's what you're going for. And have look professional and friendly. Professional and friendly. I hope you guys are taking notes. I know it sounds simple, but these are the cheat codes. So make sure you have a good pro photo. Your LinkedIn's got to be dialed in. Your resume's got to be dialed in. But we generally aren't, I'm a grunt, bro. Like, I'm not a schoolboy dude, and I'm filleting this slide right here, but we're gonna sit with this. But I told y'all I would take my time on this. I'm not a schoolboy dude. I got back from war, and for me, facing my fears was going to college. Okay. I'm still dyslexic. If you read every one of my posts, I'll spell something wrong by the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? But I don't got to be perfect. I'm going for progress, right? So I attack things in volume. So how do you make your resume pop? How do you make your LinkedIn pop? You know what I'm saying? 90% of us aren't tech guys, and 90% of us aren't schoolboys. One, there's probably AI that can do it for you by now. But realistically, go onto a website called Fiverr, right? Fiverr is a website where you can find outsourcers from overseas to do online tasks for you. I ain't going to tell you exactly who we use in the league because that's proprietary information for me and the students. But there's some pretty amazing outsourcers that have degrees in this stuff that do their resume. They do resumes and bios for top schools, top organizations. Find one that you think you really like and spend the money to have that person readdress your LinkedIn so your LinkedIn looks phenomenal, right? They're going to ask you some questions. Hey, what's a bio? Let me know what you've done. And have that person make your LinkedIn look amazing. That's a cheat code because me and you ain't going to do it amazing, right? Boom. The second one, resume, same thing. Find someone on Fiverr. Let me just send y'all the link real quick. I'm here trying to help some people, man. Let me just send y'all the link right quick. Find someone on FIV. There it is, Fiverr.com. All right. This is the website right here. I'm letting the cat out the bag tonight. You know what I'm saying? Where's my little chat box for you guys? Find someone on Fiverr who can make, bam, there it is, Fiverr.com. You guys pay attention to the chat thread because I'm be dropping all the cheat codes in the chat thread. Go on Fiverr.com and have them make your resume look amazing, make your LinkedIn look amazing. You ain't got no business cards, have them make some business cards that look amazing. There's a lot of really cool business cards like that have RFID technology in them as well, where you can create your own website. You can have one of these outsourcers make your website pop, and you can carry one business card. That's what I do. I think mine's called an OVU card. I walk up to people, they're like, hey, can I get your contact information? Boom, here's a QR code or tap. I hit their phone. I drop my contact card into their phone, right? My contact card then has my social media links on it. It's a really cool little page, and that contact card goes directly into their phone. If you go into your iPhone, into your contacts, and you scroll all the way to the top, you're going to see your contact card. Your contact card, you need to put an amazing professional photo in there. You need to go on ahead and put all your links that you want them to see in there. And when people ask for your contact information, boom, you can text them that contact card, or you can airdrop them that contact card as well. That's another digital way to connect to somebody. You send them that contact card, they put it in their phone. You wait till the next day. You say, hey, really nice to meet you. Really nice to meet you. If you ever need anything in the state of California, hit me up. Or really nice to meet you. If you got any EP work, I'd love to work with you and explore ways that I can serve your company, right? These are the cheat codes. I hope y'all are taking some notes, right? So what gets you hired, man? These are the things. What gets you hired? You see a call out go out, I'm going to be like, guard card, exposed weapons permit, CCW. You're going to say yes. I'm going to say, okay, we can talk. I'm going to look at your resume. Does it show me the level of professionalism that you're going to contribute to my company, and that I know I can slide your resume across the table to my client. My client will look at you and say, this guy can represent my brand, my organization, my family. If that's the case, I'm telling you, that professional photo is huge. And then when your employer goes to your resume, the next thing they're going to do, if they're any good, is they're going to go open source on you, right? So they're going to look at all your social media platforms. Your resume is just the beginning. Your social media game is your real resume. Your LinkedIn is your real resume. If you have accounts that are not locked up, or that you haven't professionally thought about how you are constructing the message and the way that you're seen, that's your real resume. As an employer, I know I'm not going to get to know you in these interview process necessarily. I know that I'm not even going to get to know you until you've had about 90 days on my detail and you've had time to start relaxing and being heinous, right? So someone's social media platform, that tells me what they think is cool. That tells me their values. That tells me what they want the world to see, right? That tells me what they think is the best of them. That's your real resume. So think about your social media, all those pictures of you when you were in college in the Marine Corps, drinking and being crazy and doing whatever, or when you had a bad day and you did a post. Your social media is not personal anymore, okay? Or lock it up so no one can see it, okay? Have it be private. That's when I see a guy with a private social media, I'm like, great, this guy understands discretion. Probably everything in there shouldn't be seen, right? So think these things through so that someone doesn't look at your stuff and then go around you, check out social media and realize, hey, this guy is lacking some discretion to let the world see this. And he may be lacking discretion when he's in my company dealing with my clients. How to tap into unlimited work. Let's talk about chasing the pager. So if you have these things squared away, and we have an amazing module in training day, a digital education course about how to interview, what to say. If you're able to get your pro photo dialed in, your LinkedIn dialed in, your resume dialed in, you stack that with some good training, and you are able to, and you have a good package that you send these employers, you start getting on with as many EP companies as you can. So a lot of guys experience feast or famine in this game because they get into one position and they get comfortable, right? You got to decide what you want to do. Maybe that company is able to elevate you. Maybe that company's looking to do some big things with you, right? So you ride it out with them. Maybe it's a big corporation. There's a lot of areas and what places to move around. But what a lot of you guys do is you get in and you may not have a good home. You may not have what you want in this game, but you get comfortable. And you stop looking at the other companies in your area and pitting them against each other to continue climbing. Don't get comfortable. Get on with multiple companies. Work multiple opportunities. See how much money you can fit into your month without negatively impacting your responsibilities. and make a living doing this thing. Chase the pager. Okay, cool. You got a job that works you half the week. What are you doing the rest of the half of the week? Every single detail you go on, especially when you're with a team, is an opportunity for you to be marketing yourself. Those agents on that security detail with you, if you can serve them, if you can make that team operate better and more smoothly, and you can bring competence to that team, and you can take the hard jobs, those guys are going to want to work with you again. Those guys are going to be like, yo, dude, when their boss is like, yo, we got this EP thing. Can you guys think of anybody else we need? They're gonna be like, yo, let's get that Byron dude here, man. He brought us waters that time. He took halls and walls that night. He did this, and this. If you can start serving the teams you work with instead of being too cool for school, sleeping when you ain't supposed to be sleeping, going to get food when you ain't supposed to be going to get food. You know what I'm saying? Ask me how I know. I grew up in this game, right? Like if you can be the guy, like you take constructive criticism well, because they're just trying to help you do your job better. If you can be that guy, right? And you can go on ahead and get on with these companies, you start racking up companies after a while. You get on with 3, 4, 5. I was on with 7 companies at a certain period of time. And I was able to schedule my work out for months because they'd be sending me emails. They'd be reaching out to me. And I would just, okay, you got a detail here. I'm going to work this detail. You got the detail. These 3 days, cool. Oh, I got a 2-week one here. Oh, there's a month. We got some Saudis coming into town. Boom. And I would work out my schedule, right? So get on with multiple companies. When you are on with these companies, understand that your ability to serve that employer and serve that team equates to more work for you. This is the social dynamics of executive protection thing. And service and honor are how you're going to be able to do those things. If they see that you're dependable and you serve the team, you serve the company, and you serve the client, you're going to be the guy that they're going to want to call back. You got to understand that business is the commerce of relationships. Okay. So if you want to always be working, you want to make a lot of people want you to be working with them. And the funny thing is, like I tell people this stuff, and then when it starts working, like you heard these guys at the beginning of this call, they're busy, man. My favorite moment with the league is when they're like, man, I get a civilian who has no background, or I get someone who's like, I really hope I can get into this game. And then next thing you know, 3 months later, they're going on tour, they're turning down work. And then they say the magic words, man, I'm tired. And I'm like, yeah, dog. I'm like, yeah, welcome, dog. It's like that moment in training day where Officer Hood looks at him. He's like, you can't be like this. I'm like, yeah, it's like this, dog. And then the game starts of, all right, let's find you a good home, right? Let's find you a detail that you love, like maybe 1 or 2 details that you can just give yourself to, so you're not running all over the place unless you want to do that. Some guys just love it. But chase the pager, guys. Don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable unless you're in a place that you already have a great white whale and it's a place you want to be. Stay hungry and continue selling security, meeting new employers and new companies, and then leverage the social network of every single agent you work with. When you work with those agents, they should never walk away without your contact info in their phone. They should never walk away without getting a text message the next day. Hey, bro, it was good running with you this weekend. That was solid. If you ever need anything, you hear of anything, let me know. And I'll let you know if I hear of anything as well. And every time you hit up an agent that you want to work with, you like etch yourself in his mind, and he will start doing the same thing for you. You're building your social network. Now, if you're part of the league, it's built in. That's what we do for each other. Okay, so network on every single detail, network at training. 1, continue investing in yourself and adding value to yourself, right, through going through more and more training. 2, when you're doing that, be networking at those EP courses. Those are some of the best networking events because you get to sweat with these guys. You get to train with these guys. By the end of a course, you have like more brothers. You have people that you've been in the cooker with that you can actually really, really, really form high quality relationships with. Be networking on details, be networking when you're out there training, right? And then add lifestyle hobbies that put you in environments where there are other warriors, right? That put you in environments where there are other guys, be it martial arts, be at the gym, be looking for other EP agents. We can smell each other. It's like Highlander. You know what I'm saying? I think Elijah Shaw said that during one of my podcasts. It's like Highlander, like who's that guy over there? You know what I'm saying? He looks tactical. Like, who you know what I'm saying? And go introduce yourself. Go, yeah, what up, man? You look cool. What you do, man? What are you into, right? Digital networking. The whole industry is connected, y'all. The whole entire industry is connected. All the hiring managers, all the EP company owners, all the agents, they're all connected digitally. So you have to learn how to leverage these platforms. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but you have this LinkedIn platform. Now you have all your search that you need to work. Now you have a LinkedIn profile that no matter how not techie you are, you have no excuse not to have it pop and be amazing. And now when you see another influencer post something that's cool, or you see another article that pops up in your feed that's cool, repost it. Go join all the EP groups, repost it in the EP groups. Introduce yourself in the EP groups. Hey, my name is Byron. I'm new to the industry. I live in Southern California, but I have my guard card, exposed weapons permit, CCW. Looking for work. If you guys know of anything, it'd be awesome to work with you and serve you and your teams, your details, and contribute to your organizations, right? Throw a post like that up every once a quarter and then contribute. Hey, I saw this, thought it was really relevant to the game. What do you guys think? Start conversations. Get guys underneath your post talking inside the EP groups and then respond to them thoughtfully. Now, understand this is a double-edged sword because what you contribute, you will be judged by, and the quality of your comments and conversation you will be judged by. Never give the public anything you can't take back. Never fight anyone on social media or online, right? I've done it before. Trust me. You guys know I'm out here straight up. I am balls out, completely exposed all the time, and I live that way. I'm a 100% just genuine, like I'm just me. I'm saying like you want my story, you want to know about the drugs I did when I got out of the Marine Corps, you want to know about my God that I try to serve, you want to know about my imperfections. It's all out there in podcasts and social media. You want to know who I am, follow me on social media. You will see me fighting my fight, trying to be the best I can every single day of my life, because that's the promise I made to God when I had my out-of-body experience and got a second chance to try to live. So do some digital networking. Get on your LinkedIn. Contribute thoughtfully and intelligently to the EP groups out there in the game. Get on your Facebook. The demographics of Facebook, those are older. Those are generally more adults on Facebook, right? Join those groups. Contribute thoughtfully. Expect to find people that are going to hate on you, right? Know who you are and don't fight. Don't get sucked into the toxicity of the online environment. But drop something of quality once a week. People are going to start looking and noticing who you are. We have a very in-depth class on this in the EP Masters class. Actually, Aaron Molden was the one who put that together, and it's savage if you want all the cheat codes for LinkedIn. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Bam. Okay, we talked upgrading your resume. We talked a little bit about upgrading your resume, what gets you hired, what are employers looking for. Now, the truth about what employers are looking for, your tactics help, your training really helps. But what I want to know from the moment you submit your resume, pro photo, and CV, to the moment you end up on the range with me doing a hard skills assessment, to the moment you end up in a Zoom meeting with me, to the moment you end up in an in-person meeting with me, what I really want to know is I'm trying to assess your character. I'm trying to assess who you are, right? That's really what I'm looking at when I look at your social media, when I look at your level of physical fitness, right? Appearance is communication, right? When I look at your pro photo, the way you do one thing is the way you do many things, right? How good of a steward have you been with the assets you've been given, right? With regards to your opportunity to educate yourself. Have you taken advantage of that? Have you invested in yourself? With your physical fitness, have you been a good steward with that? Have you made the most of that, right? These are the things I'm looking at, because this is how you're going to treat my stuff, okay? This is just human nature, right? And so we're trying to understand your character. And the guys that can maintain high values, those are the guys that win, right? So I told you about Fiverr. That's how you upgrade your resume. Okay, you can try to do it yourself if you're techie enough. I told you about Fiverr for LinkedIn. That's how you upgrade your resume. And then start investing in yourself. If you're a civilian, you will need to do more, right? If you're a civilian, this is an industry that has a lot of law enforcement and a lot of military guys in it. Go to an EP course so that we know you understand how to do executive protection. Take on a habit that, like a martial art or something like, or a competitive shooting or something to where we know you do have some tactical prowess, right? There are advantages to different types of agents, right? Law enforcement agents, They come with some training. There are disadvantages as well, though. They come with some training, but they've got to learn how to get things done without a badge. Military folks like me, I went through a lot of cognitive dissonance because I went to war and then I came back and I had to realize that executive protection was really not about being James Bond. It was more about service, and it was more about like making the client safe, productive, and happy. Could be looked at as babysitting if I didn't have the right perspective on it, right? So military guys have a tendency to want to get bored, right? Law enforcement guys have a tendency, and both military and law enforcement guys have a tendency to think they already know everything because they've done real legit things. And sometimes putting the cars in the car seats and making sure the dog collars are on the dogs is just, they think it's beneath them. But if you can change your mind to realize that it's an honor, man, to make this money to serve people. That ever since the beginning of time, there's been a special sect that's been set aside, taken to serve the nobility of the time, and they live good lives and they're taken care of, and it's an honor to serve and support through the art of protection. Not everyone can be a protector. You need to train in order to even be good enough to be considered a protector. So upgrade your resume. How do you upgrade your resume? You upgrade it by upgrading yourself. I gave you the technical ways of upgrading it, but you've got to continue upgrading yourself. That's really the key. And continue adding to that resume. One last thing on resumes. You should pause for effect. You should at all times have the most upgraded version of your resume on your phone. If someone meets you and is interested in you and they want to say, hey man, send me your stuff, your resume, your certs, your pro photo. Oh man, here's another good cheat code. And letters of recommendation should be on a folder, be it a Google Drive, a Dropbox link, on your phone, on your notepad. You should be able to text that to them instantly in PDF form. So when someone's like, hey man, send me your stuff. Okay, solid, I got you. Here's my contact card. Let's exchange contact info. Boom, here you go. That is like a lights out way to come across as the most squared away dude in the game. Now, let's talk about one other huge thing. Letters of recommendation. Okay, letters of recommendation. Every employer I've had, I get a letter of recommendation, right? I say it like my dad when he's spanking me. Yo, but real talk, like every single employer should give you a letter of recommendation. If someone gets my resume, CV, bio, all that stuff, they get 12 letters of recommendation. All the companies that I've worked for, hey man, you know, while I'm doing good, while I'm in the company, while things are positive, before I mess something up, I go to my employer and I'm like, hey, would you mind just, you know, writing me a letter of recommendation, just, you know, talking about, you know, the level of service I've been able to render so far. If you're not comfortable with it, I completely understand. If you want, I'll even write it and you can change it and make it fit, whatever. But it's just something that I do with all my employers, you know, as I'm still trying to build my career and trying to be better and different things like that. No matter how it ends, you have that letter of recommendation. Who do you think's going to win? The guy who has a pretty cool resume and stuff, or the guy that sends you a resume and has 12 letters of recommendation from the owner of this company, owner of that company, this client, his chain of command from the Marine Corps, the politician he worked with that time? Who's going to win, right? So letters of recommendation are huge. And then when you get to the PPO level, the company level, and you have public facing clients that you can talk about, make sure you get a letter of recommendation for them too. When they're at the end of the detail, we're like, man, that was great. You guys are awesome. And you've worked with them for a little while. Say, hey, would you mind writing my company like a little letter of recommendation? These things speak volumes, and people can vet your sources because at the bottom of that letter of recommendation is going to be their contact information. Man, this is some gold. I hope y'all are tracking with this. Okay. Why now is the best time to get into the private security industry? This one is all around us. When you start scrolling, what do you see? The fear and greed index is at an all-time high. Maui's on fire. Oregon is on fire. Washington State's on fire. The world is on fire. We're getting ready to go into the next pandemic. You know, Alex Jones kicked it off. Love him or hate him, he's been right about a couple things, right? But now we're looking at going into the next pandemic. I mean, I'm seeing the signs and I'm getting the reports constantly, right? Trump wins the election. The left starts burning things indiscriminately. The most popular president in United States history wins the election. Biden wins the election. the right decides to go crazy and burn things indiscriminately. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, there's talk about the economy collapsing every single day if you're watching the financial markets. We're going into a recession. These are all things, you got the World Health Organization and all these different agencies training for an EMP attack, right? If you have your ear to the ground and you know what's going on as a private security professional right now, the things that are in the near future, any presidential candidate wins, you could have a civil war. Everybody's scared, man. Law enforcement just literally got castrated. I'm here to tell you, from going through the last pandemic, what was that fund they were giving people, the EMR, the thing that they give people because their businesses got wrecked during the pandemic, and they give them money like so much per each employer, per each employee that you have for your business. I couldn't even qualify for it because business was so good. I was getting calls left and right, bro. I'm sitting here and I had to give work to my other PPOs because I couldn't staff it. I was sitting on the phone talking to people. I remember on the phone, like on a scale of 1 to 10, this guy's like a 6. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, bro, I got this detail. It's coming up. Like, can you hold me down? I didn't even want to give this guy the work. You know what I mean? Like, I would never normally even talk to this guy. This dude's coming back to me talking about like, well, you know, how much you paying? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like I got 2 other companies on the phone and they paying me like, you know, an extra $100. And I'm just like, I wouldn't even be talking to you. This wasn't an emergency, man. So what I'm here to tell you is we are living in an extremely unstable environment. Everyone knows they can't depend on law enforcement. High net worth families are bringing their protection home. Corporations are hyper aware of this and bringing their protection in-house. The part of this that is negatively impacted, actors, singers. If that's what you're doing primarily, I will tell you, you need to diversify your bonds, right? Like they said, like Wu-Tang, like they say in the Chappelle Show. But you do need to diversify your clientele, because I had multiple clientele segments going into the last pandemic, and I saw some were crushed, and I saw others elevate. Right, the high net worth families elevated. The corporate stuff, some of the corporate stuff elevated. The celebrity-centric actor singing stuff, that stuff all went down. Right now is the best time. I read a Forbes report before the pandemic that talked about how the EP industry was supposed to double. It has quadrupled in the last few years. Bow, boom. So how do I solve all these problems for you and bring you value? The League of Executive Protection Specialists. This is everything I spoke about. How do you upgrade your resume? You invest in yourself, right? How do you make it so that you're always working? You have a network of people. All those people that you saw at the beginning of this call, right? What did they have in common? They had the network. And then the final thing is you have mentoring. You have someone to help you when you get stuck. You heard him talk about, yo, I love how available this guy is to help me, right? Because I have a heart to do this. You know, like you don't just do what I've done. You don't create you don't create the largest library of free video content in an industry, free video content on my YouTube channel because you're just like out for a cloud or whatever. I'm telling you, it's a grind. I'm telling you, it costs money. I'm telling you, it's just where my heart is, right? Because I was so blessed to have what I have. Nothing makes me feel better than what you saw on those calls, cats being like, yo, I didn't even know if I could do this. I have a family. I didn't know if I was able to make this happen. And then, you know, you help me make it happen. Boom. That's the best feeling in the world to me. So I'm on a mission, man. I want to bring honor back to our industry by making the best agents in this game. So when you do take a course with us, you get the training, but then you get the network. You get all the other agents in that city, in that state, in that part of the world. You get the network to bring you opportunities. And then you get ongoing mentorship. I stay with you through your career. You get 2 Zoom calls a month, just like this, where we get to hop on calls and I help you get unstuck. So let's talk about the service offering. Let's talk about what we offer at the league. And I see some of these questions popping. We're going to watch a video or two. I'm going to run through what we do at the league, and then I'll open it up, man, and we'll chat a little bit. Okay, boom. So Executive Protection Training Day, man. This is the online course. This is the course that a lot of those guys went through and got right into the industry. We touch on everything that I talked about, and we go much, much deeper, right? Mindset of a specialist, getting into the game, social dynamics. The social dynamics module is fire on your life. I've probably that one module has probably made more people money than all the rest of it put together. Professionalism, gear, the advance. No one be talking about how to do an advance. I'm gonna teach you 3 different advances: teams, working solo, motorcade, operations, threat assessments, risk assessments, surveillance, detection, immediate action, what to do with an attack on principle. This is online. You can go ahead and get this today, get your certification. It'd probably take you about 2 weeks. There's a lot of content in there. And this is everything that I know or knew about executive protection when I started this course. I'm probably going to update this at some point. But this is how a lot of people, this online course right here, is how a lot of people are getting into the industry and getting their career started. Straight up. Boom. Now, some companies like to see you have some on-ground training, right? Oh, master's class. This is the next level of digital online training. So what I did with the master's class is I found almost all, there's a million amazing people in our industry that have done so much more than me. I found many of the top specialists in our industry: Jerry Jacobs, the Governor Detail, Christian West, Elijah Shaw, Caleb Gilbert, Cove Pro, he's doing and done big things. Aaron Malden, you guys that have been around the industry, you guys know who these guys are. Anton Kalajian, I mean, he's on a Netflix original. I'm in there messing around. Jackie Davis, #1 female agent in Europe. Pablo Ortiz, got Mexico on lock. Ilya Umansky, he's amazing. His module is amazing. 7 domains of competence. This is where a lot of people like to call themselves private security professionals, but they're really not, and he'll blow your mind with that. Dr. Mary Beth Janke, she's all on the speaking circuit right now. Steve Somerville will make you feel insecure when it comes to your use of force policy, and the list goes on. But really, the idea with this is you learn from the masters, higher level skills. So training day is for the agent. This is for the company owner, people that want to learn from people who are at the upper levels of this industry. And I'm going to continue adding to this library. I've got a really good friend who's going to make a savage module here coming up in the next month or so on risk assessments. Another topic everyone's afraid to teach on in the industry, right? Because it's very technical, but it's the foundation of every EP, detail. You have to start with a risk assessment. Okay, so let's get into the 8-day hard skills intensive real quick. I'm going to show you guys a quick video on this because it's going to tell you how it works better than I do. Boom, boom. And then we're going to get into all of the questions. Hard skills intensive. This is one of my favorite class. Truth be told, this is my favorite class to do with you guys when you come out and you start hanging with us. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just share my screen with you. The whole goal here especially with the hard skills intensive is to make sure you have the skills just in case, because we don't have a crystal ball, whether it's protecting your family, whether it's protecting your client. I know for a fact your clients are hiring you to protect them. Soft skills will get you paid. These hard skills, though, they save lives.
This isn't just like, oh, we're going to put some drills together and have you guys run through it. We don't do that. Every little thing you do builds to the next thing you're going to do.
Down, get down, go, 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 go! Grab it, grab it! Up, sir, get in, inside. Roll, roll, roll.
That's what I'm talking about.
Drive her down, drive her down!
What do you want people to know about this training experience?
if you have any hesitations about getting here, the driving, they brought me way up here.
Heck
right?
yeah.
It's amazing, man. I don't want to leave. This is going to be bitter when I leave. Fundamentals, man, they don't skip anything, right? They are going to walk you through you get all of it. The quality of the instructors, you can tell you guys have pride in what you're doing. There's a lot of heart here and just compassion for all of the cadres.
This is the place for people who are legitimately protectors. Not dudes who just want a job, but guys that want to be legitimate protectors. Like the heart of what we do, you know, is being a protector. This is the place you get to come, be a white belt, empty the cup, learn from people who care, you know what I mean, who really are like, they put their heart and soul. Every single instructor is like a master he's a black belt in that area. What would you say about this experience at the league, training with us?
Yeah, training is great. The real life scenarios definitely push you to your limit and definitely test your knowledge while under stress.
We definitely try to take, like, there's no check in the box, no death by PowerPoint. This is the hard skills intensive, dude. Out here in the elements, 8 days, you know, you better hydrate, all this stuff. How do you feel? Do you feel like the training's giving you the confidence necessary to do this work?
Oh, definitely make me a better overall agent. So the driving, I love the driving part, and you know, definitely push you to your limits about see how fast you can drive with precision and accuracy. And,
yeah, no, and what you said about culture means a whole lot, man. That's like the underpinning of what we want. I want a family of protectors. That's what the gold standard is really all about.
Tell you what, this is where you learn. This is where you get better. Way better shooter than I was 1 day ago, 2 days ago.
Heck yeah, that's all we asked for, man. Boom. And then here at this module, during our full pistol module of the Hard Skills Intensive, we go into actually clearing structures with your principal, with your client. One man, small unit stuff to make sure that our protectors are able to perform in the places that we actually work in. So what we're doing here is we're preparing professional protectors to be able to navigate the environments that we work in, being able to learn how to use those angles, learn how to master that customer, that protectee as you move through these environments. There's no use in just hammering out the square range. Yes, we run guys through Secret Service quals, whips quals, and federal law enforcement quals. That stuff's awesome, it's extremely important, but what good is it if we just do those quals and we don't show guys how to translate it to the different environments that we work in every single day? First and foremost, y'all, what did y'all think about Rick and the instructors out here?
Rick and his whole crew, they're not just coming from books. You know, Rick done it. Nacho, Ryan, they all done it.
You know, being out on this course humbles you a lot, but it also shows you where you're at.
You know, and I want people to hear that and be like, because I know there's more dudes out there that are just like working a job and they're like, I want more. And
I was depressed, man. I didn't know what to do. I'm like stuck. You know, looking. And it was just like, God was just like, there you go.
And so a lot of my goal with the content I put out has been like, I want people to realize, like, you can do this. If you have the right heart and the right work ethic, like, you can come out and you can protect people and you're willing to invest in yourself, you can come out and you can do this.
Tell you that you guys definitely raised the bar. A lot of groups that went through. We've had good groups, really good groups, but it was like just getting to this final and throwing everything together. We know it's a lot.
You know, that's a blessing to be here. So in the beginning, it was tough for me. I was having a lot of stress, so I calmed down a little bit. So, man, from where I come from with no experience, I learned a lot.
This is awesome. This is our brotherhood. But this right here doesn't end right here. As you guys saw last night in our live, we're gonna be together through the course of our careers. I am your asset. Rick's gonna be your asset. You're gonna have the whole network that we're building as an asset as you go through your industry. So you're not doing that alone ever again. We don't just train you and then cut you loose and we're like, all right, that was fun, good luck, next class. That's not what we're doing here. We're staying with you guys. So that's the hard skills intensive. You get multiple medical certs. You get a full package of attack on principle, houses, range, all that stuff. You get the highest level of driving training being taught. So most of the training you'll find out there is vehicle dynamics training. We use SUVs, we use Suburbans, we use the vehicles we work in, but we also teach you contact driving with our own personal vehicles that are caged up, which you'll get to see here soon. So you get multiple levels of driving training. This course will give you brothers in the industry. And of course, when you get done with the course, you get to train with us. You get to do your careers with us. You get the networking and you get ongoing coaching. The immersion course, this one's a little bit quicker of a video. Pop, pop. This is the video where I get to vouch for you when you get done because you get in-field experience. The Executive Protection Immersion Course is a new approach to training agents on how to operate at the highest levels in the executive protection industry. It's one thing to learn from PowerPoint and to have conversations, but the very premise of this course is to give agents the experience they need to be effective in the field. You'll get access to our online learning platform, and then you'll show up for class and we will dive straight out into the field for on-the-job training. This is a 6-day immersive experience designed to give you the confidence you need to operate at the highest levels in the executive protection industry. You will execute a training battery of multiple executive protection operations under the supervision of some of the best in the industry. This is the course that bridges the gap from the residents to the movement team. This is the course that will give people who do not have the operational experience what they need to be effective in the field. This is the course for veterans in the game to come and see how other elite professionals are executing on executive protection operations. So this is a soft skill centric course, right? This is understanding your operations, how to pull things off. These guys are gonna get feedback from a client after working a client. That's invaluable. A lot of guys go their whole careers without getting feedback from a client and just get fired, right? You're gonna have multiple exposures with clients and you're gonna get in-field critiques. You're gonna be out running details with myself and with the other instructors. When you're done with this course, you won't just have the knowledge, but you'll have the experience to be one of the industry's elite executive protection professionals. This course will give your employers the confidence that you know what you're doing. But most of all, it'll give you the confidence to know how to execute on executive protection operations at the highest levels. This course is part of the golden standard of executive protection training in our industry. It's the first of its kind, and it is absolutely changing the game.
That like Chevelle or whatever it was that you guys posted just passed. I got it. You're on the other side. Yeah, I got it.
More audibles, man.
So tomorrow you're gonna have 2 vehicles, okay? But you're still gonna rotate through every position.
Do you want me to fall in behind him or stay on our guy?
You can continue to stay on our possible threat.
Come and join us at the League of Executive Protection Specialists. This is more than just a training course. This is experience. And the best of us know that executive protection is more than just a job. It truly is a lifestyle. Boom. So that's the hard skills intensive and the immersion course. We have one more course, and if you guys haven't taken any of these yet, I want to push you to the chat where I'm going to send the links for these. You can schedule a call, and then after this, we're going to open up Q&A, and I'll hang with you guys for a little bit longer. You can schedule a call, or if you're ready to roll, you can hop on the Let's Go Now link. And if you want to just check out the website and watch some of these videos over again, you can go straight to the website. But I put those links up there for you guys. That immersion course that I just showed you, it's special because all the courses are special, but because you get to train with me. I get to train you. I get to vouch for you if someone calls about you. Basically, we just run EP details all week. So like, I'm always excited to get off and do that course. But then halfway through the week, I'm like, this is just like work with a bunch of dudes that I like, you know what I mean? So if you need experience, if you're going from the residential to the movement team, if you're wanting to get on to a movement team and you need experience, and that's the thing you've heard in interviews or you're worried about, the immersion course, there's nothing like it in this game. And then finally, this next month, we also have some driving courses, some standalone driving courses coming up. One of them is in the Protector Symposium, and I think there's one standalone driving course coming up as well. And we have payment plans as well for I think all of these courses, because these courses are a little heavier. But as you heard at the beginning of the call, these guys are making their money back. I mean, they're getting full-time jobs within 3 months, right? So if you want to talk more, I've got one of my guys schedule a call, hit that link. Let's go now. That link will explain to you the payment plans and structures. And then obviously there's our website at the bottom. The driving course.
Enter the League of Executive Protection Specialists full service driving package. And we offer the same things that are seen in a number of different places out there in the industry with regards to vehicle dynamics, which are really the foundation of what you need to outperform the enemy inside of a vehicle. We drive every single day, so this is a primary competency we have to be able to bring to bear when it counts. But then we take it up a notch and we offer our patrons a training opportunity that is very rare, and I believe we may be the only ones offering it in America: contact driving. Our instructor cadre operates overseas in high-threat environments on a regular basis, and so we bring that expertise back here to the private security professional. You're not just going to learn how to pit and counter-pit, but you're going to learn how to fight with a car. We're going to teach you how to deal with barricades, how to ram through barricades, how to deal with a rolled vehicle, and a bunch of other things that you will never find on the training circuit at this time.
Woohoo! Welcome to the league.
Drive her down,
drive her down.
All right, sweet. So that is the driving course, y'all. Boom. So those are the videos I'm going to show you guys. Now I'm going to run through some of the questions here, but I put the links inside the chat. If you guys want to come and train with us, I think we have 2 more hard skills courses this year. We have immersion courses, 1 or 2 left this year. I will put the calendar in the chat right now, event calendar, and so you guys can figure out what you want to do and join us and take things to the next level. So I saw a question inside of the, and it actually real quick, let me go over those links that you guys have. So schedule a call. You'll hop on a call probably with Rick Sweeney, who's our training director. Amazing man as a human being, someone that I very much respect, but he's been training for over a decade. He's trained thousands of agents, Sec4 International, and all that stuff. I'm honored to be able to join forces with him, and a lot of what we have is because of him. So you'll get to talk to the man himself. Let's Go Now link that will explain all of the payment options for getting involved, you know, all the payments, all the different things that you can do. There's a video on that page that'll explain all that. And then obviously our website, if you want to peruse around and check things out. If you're on the fence, get on that schedule a call link and let's talk about it and let's see how we can work something out to help you. Get you into the league, man. Okay. We don't have an EP link for New York, Henry. I apologize. I'm gonna try to knock out a few of these questions before we. And if you guys have questions, put them in the chat. No worries. Could you be okay? Boom, 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 boom. I'm already signed up for the 8-day hard skills in November. Can't wait, Kyle. Man, it's an honor. Can't wait to train with you and shake your hand. I actually commented on YouTube video you posted about the course earlier today, really hoping to save up enough to get into this course since I completed training day already. Outstanding. I can't wait to train with you, Sean. Heck yeah. And see if any of those payment plans work for you, or hop on a call with us and maybe we can figure something out. A bunch of video stuff, experience in the field. Does anyone here already have experience in the field? I'm looking at, does it make sense to do training day first and then do the immersion course? Absolutely. The levels of the courses, 1, 2, 3, and all that, they're not necessarily the order you need to take it in. This is how I would say approach taking these courses. Look at your background. If you have a background that says you have strong hard skills, like military or law enforcement or something like that, based on client perception, you can probably go immersion course and learn all the soft skills and all the infield cheat codes and get the confidence up just doing the detail and focus on that course. The reality we all know is that the military was not the best training in the world. If you train outside the military, you realize like, yo, the military, that was not that relevant, right? You're not carrying a rifle around. How are you with your pistol? How much did you train with your pistol in the military? I run hard skills assessments with guys, and same thing, military dudes show up and they're like, yeah, I was in the military. Just like me, I was one of these guys. I had to learn this lesson too. And then we started doing our pistol quals, basic law enforcement quals, basic federal law enforcement quals, CCW quals, and they're struggling. And then they always say the same thing. Well, we didn't shoot much pistol in the military. Well, cool, dude. Now you do. Now your pistol is the only thing you carry if you get to carry a weapon, right? So, you know, the hard skills intensive, right? That's where you can brush up on all three of your hard skills. I think medical is a hard skill, right? Because you take gear out and you physically do it. So your medical, TCCC, TECC, first aid, AED, you get all the things they want to see on details. You get that knocked out. You get your attack on principle. You get the highest level of driving training in the country. And then you get the network, and then you get the mentoring. Immersion course, big caveat to that is you get experience. And then you can say you have experience. And then you can tell them to call me and ask about the experience. And then the driving training, it's just really valuable, right? Medical training and driving training are two of the most valuable trainings you can get right now in the game. So don't look at the levels of the course, like you have to take it in order. How many days do you spend training at the 8-day hard skills? You spend 8 days training, 1 day to fly in, 1 day to fly out. Don't support anyone in South Carolina. We don't have anything in South Carolina right now, Sean. So let's open this up a little bit. VA stuff is coming. We're working on getting VA certified. I just want to hear some of you guys' voices. You know, I kind of want to see if someone wants to ask a question or say something. Is private security more lucrative than LE? I'm not from LE. I don't know, but I do know. Yo, my man Vince. Yo, Vince, let him know. Let him know. So a little bit.
Wait, ask a real question, please.
You know?
EP versus launch. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to say this and be respectful. It would hurt people's feelings where I worked. I'm gonna just say it like that. Like they would legit be mad at me. Like mad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Just okay. And the quality of life, like.
Oh, right now I'm chilling in the Four Seasons. Wait a minute.
That's what's up, man.
You know,
it doesn't
suck. Working. It doesn't suck, man. It doesn't suck. I'll wait till, you want me to share a little bit. It's all good. I just came because I wanted to hear your voice as well, because we've been, I'm one of those guys that he talks about when he said, just wait. That's what he kept telling me. And he said a lot of positive things. He said, I knew when I met you, so on and so forth. And he's like, just wait for it. He kept saying it with a grin. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. And literally, it just like napalm. It just exploded, and it's when preparation meets opportunity and you continue preparing, just like what he said.
Yeah.
Through his stuff, you just prepare. You're learning. And the opportunity comes, and of course you're ready. because Byron gives you like inside secrets. I don't even know how to, it's literally like somebody sitting you down and going, oh, you want to do this? Let me put you up on game. Listen, that's literally how it goes. I taught in law enforcement during my career, and I told Byron, I didn't like his style when I first saw it. I was like, man, what is this? This is unpolished. This is
right.
But it was him. Just like he said earlier, it was him. And then just the knowledge and the secrets and just, I mean, I say this all the time. I literally have said word for word things from his course. You know, my first time at the FBO. First time. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Watched it, walked in, said literally what he says in the video. Boop, 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 and worked out. And now it's like, you know, second nature. But
heck yeah.
There's just so much. Go ahead. I'm gonna wait. Go ahead, buddy. It's just good to hear your voice, man.
I appreciate it, man, you know, because everyone hears me talk about it. It's good for other people to see that, you know, it works. And, you know, we're really helping change people's lives, man. We're helping everyone to elevate. The doors here. It's just, you know, so it's good for them to hear it from someone else.
Literally just do what he says. It's dummy proof. Don't change it. Do step by step. He says it. If you want to have what I have, do what I do. Right.
Yep.
He doesn't say those words, but that's the concept. So literally cookie cutter. And he gives you cheat codes. Well, if you don't have this skill, okay, you don't have law enforcement, like he said. So there's that perception that I'm handy with a weapon because I was a police officer, which, like Byron said, training is trash everywhere. Yep. But I kind of leaned on that. So the soft skill.
Yep.
So he gives you literally all the pieces that you need. Just don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I mean, if it's a money thing, then it shouldn't be a money thing because it's a life-changing thing. Literally giving you keys and skills. Social dynamics, man, that's the key. I mean, hard skills, great, driving fast, but ask me what I use in my job that has literally, wait, I want to tell you this quick story and I'll be quiet. Because you said something earlier.
Yeah.
I was sitting out in front of a hotel a week ago and a guy came up and started having a conversation with me. And I misjudged him by his appearance because I was like, man, no way. This is the way this guy was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out he was legit a heavy hitter in the industry. And this is what he told me, man. It made me feel so good. He said, I walked by you. And he said, I need to know this dude. We need to get him on our team. Who is this? I need to figure out a way to talk to this guy because of how I look, so on and so forth, carried myself, and open door.
Yep.
And he's a heavy hitter. Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Skills that I learned from him, you know, why was I out front? Things like that he teaches you in the video.
The way you're moving.
The way you're moving. That's it, man.
Nah,
I appreciate you, brother.
You're the man, Vince. And that's the thing, like a lot of the things that I say sound like, oh yeah, like how to influence friends and win people, you know, win friends and influence people. Like it sounds like not a big deal, but you see the difference when you're applying these principles and moving this way and everybody else is just focusing on like just EP or just, you know, the other normal things, and you fly past everybody in terms of opportunities and success. You fly past everybody because you're doing all the things that grease the engines. So Horace, you've asked a question. I see it in here a few times. I've run into, I guess the question is basically, how do you find the type of detail that allows you to keep the Sabbath, Friday, Sunday, sundown to Sunday, work accommodation for doing details. So basically you want to keep the Sabbath, you want to be in the industry. A lot of activity in the industry is on the weekend. So it really is going to come down to finding, like I said, a perfect home. A client that also wants to keep the Sabbath, or you're a Monday through, you know, Thursday, or, you know, you're a Monday through Friday guy, beginning of Friday guy, you know. But when you have multiple companies going and you're chasing the pager, there's a higher probability you'll be able to work that out, or you get on a detail and you negotiate that with your employer right from the jump as you begin. You just let them know, hey, this is my one thing. Everyone's got one thing. This is my one thing, and this is my one thing. You know, this is how I'd like it to be. And then he makes a decision. How well? Okay, cool. Like you're on a detail where I need you for 3 days a week because you're working 12s, and then we go into overtime like we have to do in Cali, whatever it is, and then he makes a decision. But I would be upfront about it, and I would keep chasing the pager until I found a fit. That's how I'd work that, brother. Let's see. You guys got any more questions while I'm here?
Yo, Byron, my Jamaican brother.
Yeah, what's up? How you doing, man?
Huh?
How you holding up? What you got?
How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We hanging. It's good to see you again, man. You doing all right? I don't want to chat though, because we got everybody on the whole.
I just wanted to let you know that my healing process is coming back together and get my hands back online. So I'm gonna find a way to join that immersion course.
Let's go.
On it, brother. So
let's go.
Hopefully you see me soon.
I'd love to see you again, bro. I'd love to see
you. That the healing is ready, cuz I'm going back.
Okay, you back. You working out. That's what's up. All right, brother. Let's see here. I saw a question, 2 nuggets you would tell yourself on how to succeed. 2 nuggets you would tell yourself on how to succeed. Really, when it comes to this game, man, I would say be relentless, so continue perfecting yourself. And it's literally like, this is the ladder, right? And I'm gonna try to make this quick so I can make sure I hit as many of these questions as I can before I click off. You're here, you're getting work that is at this level. You want to climb the ladder. How can I invest in myself more to make myself more valuable? And then boom, how can I tell all those and show everyone, let those employers know that I just did that? And then how can I start having relationships? Because you're getting what's in alignment with who you are and where you're at. And that's what's really interesting about life. And so you keep investing in yourself. Okay, cool.
I have a question.
Okay, cool. There's a little hand. Put your hand up real quick and I'll get you in a second. I've invested in myself. I got training. Cool. What else can I make better? Maybe it's my fitness that I can make better. For me, and this is the truth, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was like, man, what do I have? How am I going to be successful? How am I going to start a family? How am I going to support everyone? I'm not that smart. And the only background I have is holding a gun for my country. So I literally stopped listening to music. I stopped entertainment. I stopped all of it. My wife watched this happen. And I started to be like, I'm going to invest in myself. And I listened to 200 to 300 audiobooks in the span of a few years so that I would actually have something inside of myself to do life with. I stopped hanging out with friends. Rule of 5. You only rise as high as your 5 closest friends. My 5 closest friends were audiobooks. And I started every single time I was in the car learning. And it elevated my perspective. You want to live a higher quality life, you've got to get higher quality information so you can make higher quality decisions. And that's really what I would tell myself if I had to do this all over again, because that's what really changed it. I spent time with people in books that have solved problems way better than anything that I'd ever been faced with. And it made my problems look really small and manageable. And then we managed. All right, who had that question? Send it. Let's go.
Hey, Brian, man, I have a question for you, brother. I love the content. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Is there any way to? Is there any way to get into the industry? Knowing the stuff that you know, how do I become doing it? Because your YouTube is good. Everything, your channel is solid. I love it. I really want to work with you guys. But I'll do security on the side. So is there any way to level up my security to be with you guys in the executive attention? To be with you guys inside the
absolutely
inside the stuff.
No, absolutely. And I think that's what we're talking about, man. I saw Ulysses on here who had his hand up. Was it Ulysses or what was my man? I think you just disappeared off my screen. So I'll go to
Sorry,
you.
dude. Yeah, it was me. My fault.
Yeah, it was Ulysses. It was Ulysses.
Okay, solid. So we'll go to him next. But yeah, man, that's what I just gave you in this presentation. Yeah, get that guard card, resume, pro photo set up, and start stepping out to these companies. That's what the whole presentation is about, man. It's about how to get the cheat codes into your workflow. You know, go on Fiverr, get your resume set up, get your LinkedIn set up, and start networking and start putting yourself out there. If you can't afford the training, still do, if you do the things I talked about, and you're a good dude and you are actually bringing value, you will get back in direct proportion in this world to the value you're really bringing to the table, right? And then if you got to up your value because you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm not where I need to be, then you face you fight that fight, and then you'll get more in life. Thanks for the question, though. Good stuff, brother. Clayton, what you got? Wait, no. Hold on. There was another dude before I get to Clayton. There was another dude that had his hand up with the beard, but I think
Zachary.
I think he may have clicked off. I don't want to lose him there.
I'm still here.
Okay, send it.
So I'm currently in architecture, and I was wanting to know if there's any skills or anything that would transfer that you could think of that would transfer to EP, because I'm trying to get into it as well.
Good question. Okay, so as an employer, when I look at resumes, I'm not just looking for tactical stuff. I'm looking also for, does this person know how to make good decisions? So leadership, management jobs. I'm looking for service stuff. Does this person understand the service industry? This dude's a barista at Starbucks. This dude worked at a restaurant. This dude was a salesman. That's a big one. Now I know he can probably talk. I know he can probably handle himself. Your technical skills. There's quite a bit about this job also that's technical. I love guys that understand Microsoft Suite and all that stuff as well. So don't discount that stuff as you look at your resume. Add to it the tactical stuff, but leave a lot of your technical wins on your resume, because I'm going to see those and I'm going to be like, okay, this dude's applied himself. He's applied himself here. He's been able to hold this job for this long. And he's probably going to be a good decision maker and a good thinker. So anything that says that you're a good leader, anything that says you can manage people, anything that says you understand service. Those are three things that I always tell civilians, make sure you bring over to your resume, and even books you've read, you know, those things are valuable too. Does that help you?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I have a question.
Clayton, did you have a hand up? Okay, yeah, I think Clayton was next. And then who's the other guy waiting? I don't want to lose it again.
Thomas.
Okay, we'll go Clayton, then Thomas. Send it, Clayton.
What's going on, boss? Good to
Hey,
meet
it's an honor.
Question. So in regards to this industry, right? Say that we have taken a lot of different courses. Say we've been a lot of different locations,
Yeah.
a lot of different courses. And I'm gonna be honest, I spent a lot of money on courses and stuff like that to learn things that I've already kind of know. Now I did build a bit of a network, of course, but say that, you know, I've been wanting to get involved with one of your courses for a while, but it seems like they kind of like coincide, because I did Secret Service Police Academy training at one point in time. So with that training under my belt, I was thinking that maybe if I did executive protection training, it'd be something different. I feel like I've been learning too many different things. So is there anything specific that you know that you like do outside of other executive protection courses that, you know, I could actually learn? Because I genuinely go to these trainings to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to just keep spending thousands of dollars on things that, you know, I just already know.
Yeah. So I would say multiple things to that. I would say, are you working right now? Like, do you have a good flow? Are you in the industry? Are you happy with what you have?
I'd say that in the EP world, I've been moving up, doing a lot more things that I want to do. So I'm also one of them guys who like the experience over everything. So I'm not really looking for compensation.
Right.
I do get compensated, but I always say that I'm not really looking for it.
Right.
I really just want the experience. So if you could just put me on a detail with you, I'll be in the back,
Yep.
just paying attention.
Man. Heck yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in a sense, yes, because I'm retaining a lot of knowledge. I'm a sponge dude, so I just keep retaining a lot of knowledge, being in the industry, and I've been doing security for like 7 years now, but I've been nonstop around the clock doing it. So I mean, in a sense, yeah, I'm actually very happy with my
Yeah. Okay.
growth, but yeah.
So what I would say is differentiators in terms of training with us. The difference I would say is training day is everything that I've learned in the industry. So it's, I went to a lot of big schools and did a lot of different things. And what I found is that honestly, it wasn't that relevant, like we were learning like box formations and we were learning all this like stuff. And I was like, man, this is the tip of the spear. I was like, man, I've been in the industry 7 years before I started going to courses. And then when I went to courses, I was like, man, I don't know how relevant this is. So when I created Training Day, it's all the hip pocket, real world. That's why I call it Training Day, because it's just literally like, this is your Training Day, Officer Hoyt. Like getting the best. I thought we were going to the office. You're in it. Yeah, I'm saying, and we're in the chase. And this is how I talk to new dudes on a detail. So it's a totally different Southpaw approach to EP. Not totally different, but it's all like from the streets. And then with the immersion course, you're out there basically living Training Day. So we're throwing curveballs at you and you're just doing EP nonstop. You take Training Day, you come back, you do 1 or 2 day refresher, and then I'm in the car with you and we're throwing curveballs at you. Yo, we got an advance going on from this time to this time. Oh, your client's just called. Now it's time to move and we're going to stress test you in EP. So you get immersed in the game, right? And then you have your coaches with you. I'm just driving the car. And I'm like, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And I'm coaching you the first couple of details. And then it's like, yo, what do you want to do? So it's a different approach, way less PowerPoint time, way less sitting in the class. There's like virtually no classroom time. We're learning on the move. So that's a different approach. And then the hard skills intensive, you get those hard skills, but that curriculum specifically, Rick Sweeney, Sec4 International, they do primarily overseas contracts in dangerous and non-permissive environments. That's just what he does. So he gets like a Cali detail. He calls me and is like, yo, this is like a clean detail. It's like, you want to do? I'm like, okay, cool, man. So that curriculum, and he has a background training with cool kids and all that stuff. And he ran training for them. And so he brought that more NGO level overseas training in non-permissive environments. And he took that and he coupled it with what he does in like Mexico and Syria and all these combat zones on the EP side of things. So it's not like PSD side of things. It's like EP, you go over there sometimes, you go over there and you're not even armed. What do you do, right? So you have two types of agents. You have agents that just, like American agents that are on tour that are doing things. Then you have agents that are living in Mexico right now that you better call if you got to go down to certain areas because they actually know how to do it in those areas. And you shouldn't kid yourself when you go to certain areas. You know what I mean? So that's the type of network he has. So that's where a lot of that hard skills intensive training comes from. And so it's definitely different than what's out there. And then the hugest differentiator is you get to continue your career. You get calls like this twice a month with me, who I'm like, yo, how's it going? What's good? And you get mentoring, and then you get our network. That's an actual living, breathing group of people. And we elevate our careers together. So a lot of those courses you probably went through, and like, you just don't talk to like those instructors ever again and stuff like that. That's a huge differentiator.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds great. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, it's an honor. Who else we got, man? I love this part of the call. I get to kind of just chill.
Thomas here.
Send it, brother.
Question for you. Two questions. One, I'm in the process of getting my CCW. So the first question is, what courses would you recommend that I start and continue to take until my CCW is processed and approved? And lastly, is there a statewide CCW course you offer, or do you have to get CCWs in each state?
Yeah, bro. We still got to do the state by state dance. 1, 2, in terms of training, I would say guard card, exposed weapons permit. If you're trying to get into EP, the low hanging fruit is training day, because training day will keep you on track with how to do your resume, how to do your LinkedIn, social dynamics, how to interview, all the things you're going to need to get into the industry. That's what I would tell you to do. If you want to go all the way up, go to the immersion course or go to the hard skills intensive. You know your background, so you know if you need more hard skills or if you need to really understand how to do executive protection. That's what I would for sure recommend.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It's an honor. Yo, Terrence, what you got, bro? Send it.
How you doing, man? What 3 foreign languages would be best suitable to learn just getting into the game?
I mean, if you're trying to travel, bro, honestly, I mean, I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I'd say I'm the guy to answer this question, but I would say for sure you got to speak some Spanish. I would say Spanish is one of them, and I would say Mandarin's another one because I got some Mandarin clients.
Arabic.
And then
Arabic.
I also say there's a lot of work in the Arabic regions as well. Oh, for sure. I would say those are for sure your two, really.
All right, cool.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
That was left field. I had to think about that for a minute, but yeah, sure. Cool. Anyone else got anything they want to hit me with? Going once. Going. Oh, Rick. Yo, Rick. What's up, brother? What you got? And then
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, it's an honor, man.
Simplify and retire mask on, brother. Hey, I got a couple commitments to get through this year, but I'm looking at getting into it in the spring. And you answered some of the questions that I had with that previous guy.
Awesome.
About how to start into it, man. So I think I'm going to get into it in the spring, brother. But I just got a few more commitments to honor this year. I sent you a message about them too, brother. So
outstanding.
Thank you, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. It's an honor. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, brother.
Awesome. Vincent Gilmore, how's it going, sir?
Hey, how you doing, sir? Hey, I'm here in Texas, and like for the guys that are here in Texas, hey, if you don't mind me letting them know, listen, getting your CCW is cool. However, if you're going to do this work, you need to get your level 4 because your CCW will not cover you if you're working. That's your personal card. You need that level 4. You know, so take your neck. We all take care of each other.
Yeah, man. So you kind of back to, and thanks for pointing that out, Vincent, 100%. You got to make sure you get to search for whatever state you live in. And that is not something we handle at this school. We're getting into being able to, get guard cards, CCWs, all that stuff. And Cali will probably start rolling into Texas next with that. But you have to handle those certs and you have to be right about that. And Florida does that. There's a little different, possibly, if I remember right. There's different states that have different laws. You got to make sure you're running that game correct. And then you stack this stuff on top of it. I love the way Texas does it. I'm dealing with Tops right now. It's professional. It beats the brakes off of BSIS, bro. I ain't saying nothing about BSIS. God bless them. God bless them. Yo, Sean, what you got, my man?
Hey, Byron, how's it going? I just had a question. I mean, I'm a recent father now. So my main question is, yeah, thanks, man. I remember I told you about a couple of calls back, but work-life balance in regards to being a brand new parent. Any tips?
Yeah, man. I would say the first thing I always say with this is you have to make sure, especially as the man, you're guiding the vision in your house. So there's sacrifices that are going to need to be made. And you need to make sure your wife knows where you guys are going and what it's all for. Baby, this is what we're doing, and this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to be sacrificing, and I'm going to be hammering, and I'm going to need you to hammer as well. And this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. The second thing I always say, so you want to put the vision in her mind. She needs to see it too when she closes her eyes, why you're doing what you're doing and where you're going, where you're taking the family. Then the second thing I always say is be present, man. So like my flow is on a normal day when I'm in the States or around my family, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I hammer, I go to the details, I do all the stuff. But whenever you're able to fit it in, and if you can fit it in daily, that's the aim. Whenever you're able to fit it in, be present, 100% present. So like I try to put my phone down and away, so I am with my family when I'm with them, and I'm as present as I can be. So the time you get with them, sometimes it's not about how much it is, it's about the quality of that stuff. It's about making them feel like they're the center of the universe when they can be. So, you know, I try to do 2 hours a day from 5 to 7 if I'm home, if I'm not on a detail, and try to tuck my kids in and all that. And then you just had a kid, so bro, you just might be in the suck for a little bit. some part of it just might not be easy, bro. You know, like you might just have to go hard for a little bit to pull that off. You know?
Yeah, I got you. My boy, he's God, how old is he? He's 17 months now.
Yeah.
And he's a trip. He's a handful. I love him.
That's a blessing, man.
Oh yeah.
Good to go. All right, brother. Did that help? Was that decent?
Yeah, no, that was definitely good, and definitely gonna take that to heart. Now, I just need to get in the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see here. Landon. And if y'all got any more save rounds, jump on it because I'm about to wrap this thing up real quick. Landon, what you got, brother?
Byron, Byron, how are you, sir?
Hey, it's an honor, man.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you have anything for like continuing education for company owners?
Yeah, man. I've been sitting on this one. I'm like, you know, this is one of those where I'm still like about to drop. I'm wanting to drop it, but I'm not quite at the place where I'm ready to drop it. You know, from the PPO level, from the company owner level, in Cali we call it PPO. I know in Texas, y'all, it worked different, but I'm on the verge of creating something for that, but it ain't there yet. So we have a master's class that does speak to that. Christian has a module on that in there, and a few other guys have modules that talk about, you know, the company owner level. And I have 2 more modules that are going to also come in and talk about that as well. But I don't have like a training day for business owners. That's what I want to drop.
Right.
Right. So that's where we're going.
I got your contact from Mike Thomas out of Hawaii. So
sir,
I had to pop in, show some support.
Yeah, man. Big boy, man. Y'all some monsters. Mike Thomas, man. I saw him at the symposium. I was like, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing, bro? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. The monsters. That's juggernauts, man. Heck yeah. It's an honor.
Yeah, awesome. For sure. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Sir, 100%.
All right.
All right, solid, you guys. Well, I think we hammered it out. We got any other rounds? All right, cool. I think we are clear. Cool, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you guys stayed to the end of this. Yo, Landon, what you got? Okay, there he is.
Another Landon, or did I accidentally raise my hand again?
Oh no, I think I just saw your hand, like your chest. Okay, cool.
Can you hear me now?
I hear somebody. Yeah, send it.
Hey, I was wondering. I did some training out with Gavin DeBecker and Associate because I was going to get a job with them.
Yeah.
But I never did pick the job because they were trying to send me somewhere I didn't want to be at. But I was wondering. I never was in the military or did law enforcement. What classes do you recommend? I've been looking at your classes and debating which ones I should take because I did a lot of classes with them as well. And I just completed that in July, at the end of July.
Nice. I would say hard skills intensive, man, because Gavin DeBecker, as an employer, I'm gonna look at you and be like, okay, this dude should know how to do EP. That's a Gavin DeBecker executive protection course. This is a civilian. Does he have the engine? Does he have the hard skills? And that's what and if you had that hard skills intensive and you're up on your medical and you've been through some driving and some shooting, that's going to probably be that, I think, would be complementary to what you got, hands down.
Okay. I do have my, not CCW, but I do have my open carry as well as my guard card. But I haven't taken a driving course, so I should take something like the driving course and everything.
2 courses that are sexy to employers right now and to clients, mostly to clients: medical training and driving. You get an EMT at a minimum, get your TECC, first aid AED that you'll get with us, and driving, because you're going to be driving their kids, you're going to be driving them, you're going to be driving their family, so they like to see that stuff. So
copy that.
Yeah, both of those are in the heart.
Great. I appreciate that. I definitely will be signing up for some of those.
Hey, I look forward to it. All right, ladies.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you, man. We retained 56 of the 100. That is awesome. It's an honor. Thank you so much for your time, your attention. I'm gonna do everything I can to continue contributing. I know that these courses are expensive, because I completely understand it. And this is where I say look at it as an investment. A lot of the guys that have gone through here, one of them sitting in a hotel room on tour watching you right now, right? You got Vince, who started off this call. He's right there. So don't look at it as just cash out of your pocket. But you only get out of it what you put into it, right? So you'll be joining a network, you'll be joining a brotherhood, and you'll be getting some of the best training in the game. Okay. And my mission, and you guys know this if you look at my brand, is to make you guys successful. My platform becomes your platform, right? So you see our students on my platform all the time. You see us in the podcast all the time, right? So my legacy is how successful I can make you guys. So, hey, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for your time and attention. I will put one more time those links in the chat so you guys can take advantage of them real quick. If you want to hop on a course or schedule a call to talk to Rick, and or if you want to go to the website. Thanks so much, you guys. I'm gonna do another one of these. This is kind of fun. I might do one where we just go questions the whole time, but it's been an honor. All right, without any further ado, have a good night.
Devil Dog. Appreciate you, brother.
Heck yeah. Boom.
Yo, if you're a private security professional wanting to take your game to the next level, go to executiveprotectiontrainingday.com to check out my personal success package for private security professionals. Check it out, executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. And remember, y'all, hard skills do save lives, but soft skills get you paid. Boom. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions.